Okie dokie. Welcome everybody to our January 14th tribe-wide team call. And I'm so excited that you guys are here. Thank you guys for joining me, carving out time to connect, to learn, to grow, to be in community, all the fun stuff. Today, I am so excited because we have such a killer guest speaker. And I know that this is a topic that is just going to resonate so much. So I'm so excited that she's here. Jen is a 5-star diamond coach. She is a Success Club All-Star legend. She has had 30 consecutive months in Success Club, you guys. 30 consecutive months without missing it. She signed up in July 2013, so just like around the same time as me. And she qualified as a premier coach for 2015. So she just found out she's a premier coach. Woo! Toss some confetti. Very exciting. And she is a stay-at-home homeschooling mama. She's got some kiddos. So you guys with kiddos, this will be a fun one for you guys. And if not, that's okay because, you know, everybody's busy with their own stuff. And she's going to be speaking to you guys about belief and escaping the prison of small thinking, which I think is so clutch for January, right? Like we're all thinking about our year that's coming up. We're all excited for New Year. And I know that 2015 was a difficult year, not just related to coaching, but 2015 just seemed to be a difficult year for a lot of people in general. There was a lot of stuff that happened that was, you know, sometimes a little bit hard. So, you may be in January and feeling like 2015 is still like got you by the heels and hasn't let you go. And I think that this talk on belief is just going to be perfect timing for you to be able to look ahead, to kind of cut the ties with everything that has got you to this point and to just start moving forward. So, Jen, I'm going to hand it over to you. I'm going to mute myself and you can just take it.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much, Becca, for having me. You guys, I'm honored. When Becca asked me to speak, I was just jumping at it. I love your coach. So I'm super happy to be here. Yeah, I'm going to talk about, just some tips, escaping, limiting just old thoughts, old patterns, and really by taking action is how we're going to get out of that. So I'm going to screen share. I hope I'm not frozen. Is my internet good? Am I good? Can you hear me? Okay. All righty. So let me just, okay. So right here, I'm just going to share a little bit about my story. Okay, there's my little arrow. My name is Mirabile. Like she said, I've been coaching since July 2013. These here are my people. These are my everything. This is my why. When I was trying to figure out the parts of my story that I wanted to share, it's just so hard. Hold on one second. I can't see. I think I'd prefer to just keep it small if that's okay with you guys. So this way I can actually see some of you guys. Okay, so that's my hubby, Jared, my son, Andon, my daughter, Adeline. I grew up in a really small town. I grew up with really humble beginnings. That's just a really nice word to say. We were really, really poor. We didn't have, many resources. My dad was an alcoholic. My mom and dad both were 17 when they had me. I'm the oldest of 4. And I don't know, I just grew up with a mindset of I don't want to be in people's way. I don't want to take up space. I don't think my parents meant to put that in me, but by being the oldest and my mom sharing with me constantly how we didn't have enough money for this, I was always aware of her stresses, even as a young one. So there were drugs and alcohol. I come from just a long line of the drugs and alcohol. My grandparents, aunts, uncles. I have many, many cousins, and there's really only a couple of us that made it out. I can remember being a little kid and thinking, my life's going to be different. I just don't know how, but it's going to be different. I'm not going to live like this. I'm not going to act these ways. And I really just think that was God's calling on my life. I didn't know that then. I didn't come to know God until just 2001, I think it was. So I didn't grow up, with a family of believers or anything like that. So that was my upbringing. I met my husband when I was 19. In March of this year, we'll be celebrating our 14-year wedding anniversary, 17 years together. I met him in that small town, and I pretty much said to him, my quick little college. I did that 2-year college in town because I couldn't afford to go off to college with all my friends. And honestly, what a blessing, because I stayed in town and I met my husband, the love of my life. So I met him as I was finishing up college, and he had an art studio. And after 3 days of knowing him, he said he was going to marry me. I said he was crazy. I was 19. I said he was nuts, but you see, he knew what he wanted. So we decided, honestly, pretty quickly to just pick up. I said I was heading to Orlando for massage school. I watched a therapist for about 5-6 years. So we packed up and headed over here, and we have been over here ever since. I'm 36 years old now. So however long that is how long we've been here. He truly is, honestly, just means everything to me. God really, really, truly blessed me, because we don't really have family in our life. We don't have family local here in Orlando, but at the same time, even our family is just not a family. So our little unit of 4 is very strong and very deeply rooted, deeply connected. My own family, like my parents and all of them, kind of honestly continued down those paths of making those bad choices. And we all know how the compound effect works. And so it's led them to, one of my sisters is serving a 25-year prison sentence. The other one has 4 kids by different dads. And my parents are currently homeless and addicted to drugs. And it's hard for me even to say and just keep a straight face, because it is a sad reality that I have to currently live through, and always kind of just pray through my involvement, because I love them deeply. And for years, I was deeply involved in spending lots of money and really trying to do everything I could to dig them out. And then you realize that I'm not their savior. I can't save them. So I'll tell you a little bit about how I got into coaching from that. But first, I'll tell you about my kiddos. My Andon is 12. He is the sweetest, most gentle, kind, genuine, honest, sincere person. He was born with a rare genetic disorder that affects the growth of your facial bones. So he's had about, I think, 15 surgeries in his little 12 years. And really, he just changed our life in so many ways. When I had him, I had no idea. So I had no idea that there was anything that would have never changed anything. At the same time, it really just was a shock. So I can, if you have kids, you can recall your birth story just so vivid. And so I just remember he came out and people went running, literally, like the room went silent, and my mom said, "I'll be back." And she took off. My mother-in-law said, "I'll be back too." She left too. And then my husband, the sweetest thing, said, he says his only regret in this life, but he said, "I'll be right back too." And I guess he just had to go let it out. So he came back. And the truth is, when he came back and they put us in a little room, the 3 of us, I said to him, "I want to take this baby and just go live on an island where we can run around and, make our own food and be naked and not fear anybody, not fear what people are going to say, not fear people's thoughts, not fear if anybody's going to hurt him." And so at that time, this was in 2003, deep fear just set into my heart, because I'm so protective. I fell in love with him as soon as I saw him. And I just took that responsibility that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect this little boy. And little did I know at that time, God already had it. He has his whole story laid out, but I didn't know that then. I just took on this fearful protectiveness. The first 3 or so years of his little life, I quit my job. I was a banker and I loved it, but my husband and I knew that we're supposed to be home and really just committing everything to him and his surgeries and his just treatments and therapies, and honestly just nurturing and loving him deeply every day. So the first 3 years of Andon's life were just difficult. I isolated myself from friendships. I really just, I don't know, I kind of sunk in for a bit there. Then we decided that we wanted to have another baby, and we couldn't. We just couldn't. It just wasn't happening. If you've experienced infertility or secondary infertility, which is what I had, you know how tough that it is. It is just so difficult when you feel that your family's not complete. You feel like that there's a baby. I knew I was supposed to have a girl. I just knew it in my heart. So 3.5 years go by, and we finally got blessed with our little Adeline. And now looking back, it's always just so amazing. God's timing is absolutely perfect. But He gave us that 6.5 years to focus on and just give him what he needed. He just needed that focus and alone time. And we have some really special memories of the three of us. And now we're just complete with the four of us. So I got into coaching in 2013. I, at that time, was in school for nursing, and for a couple of reasons. For the financial reason of, getting a job and contributing. I've been a stay-at-home mom since Anna was born, but more so, honestly, was just to have something for me. I didn't have hobbies. Like I said, I'd kind of isolated myself off, and I needed something for me. And I love nurses so much. From Annan's been in the hospital so many times, and I've just developed a love for them, especially those overnight, tender, great bedside sweet ones. I've experienced some mean ones too, but for the most part, they're just so amazing. And I thought, I feel really safe at the hospital. I feel really comfortable there. I just love it there. So I was in school for nursing at the time. In 2013, July. And then also at the same time, my parents were just down this rocky, crazy road, and I'm the only one that they turned to. And so it was constant battle of me getting phone calls and crying and trying to figure out where to, help out or not help out, and, burden my marriage and burden myself. And at the same time, I wanted to lose 10 pounds. I just wanted to get in shape. I just wanted to feel better. And so I'd seen my sister-in-law, who's not a coach, still isn't, but she was doing P90X and getting great results. She's a good bit older than me. And I'm just thinking, if you can do it, I can do it. I don't know what the problem is here. I was like suffering. I could not lose that 10 pounds for the life of me. I just couldn't. I made all the mistakes, pretty much, put it that way. I was like skipping meals and drinking Slim Fast and whatever, juice fast. So she said, I'm doing P90X, I'm doing Shakeology, never heard of it. I had no clue about it. I had no clue about none of this, amazing world that we're in. But she said, I'll have my coach send you a sample. And so he sent me a sample of expired greenberry. That is not the best introduction you ever want to get. I was like, what is the hype? I don't even get it. So I had posted about it though on Instagram, because I loved Instagram at the time. I still do. And the girl who is my coach, reached out and just said, hey, I love Shakeology and I lead online fitness groups. And, first things I said to her was like, oh, heck no, I don't have time. I'm so busy. I'm a mom. I homeschool. I'm in nursing school. It's just every excuse in the book. Why to not put myself in the equation? Why to actually not accept the accountability of actually getting real results? So finally, after 30 days, I think it took me that long, and just talking to my husband about it, we didn't really have it in the budget either for Shakeology, but just the way he is, he just said, if you want to do it, commit, go in, just do your 30 days and see. And so I already owned P90X. My husband had bought it off an infomercial like years before. And so I didn't get a challenge back. I didn't sign up as a coach. I just bought 30 days, and I called in to make sure it was not on like home direct. I am the most skeptical person you'll ever meet, and I think someone's trying to take advantage of me. So I was just like, I'll get my one back and see what this is about. Okay. So I got the 30 days and I committed. My husband and I said, if we're going to do it, we're going to spend the 129, whatever. Just let's commit. You commit. He said, I'll cook your breakfasts. I'll grill a bunch of meats for you. I'll just really help arm you and, help you succeed in this 30 days. So that's what I did. I committed to 30 days that summer, and I lost the 10 pounds and felt honestly completely in love with the challenge groups and the heart of this business and what we do, because it changed my life. It really, and I look back and the weight was nothing. It was just like, it was nothing. It was the inner part, the fear and the insecurity and the loneliness and all those things that I had been dealing with were just being released. And so at 30 days, I said to my husband, I've been seeing these people, they coach, they lead these groups. I think I want to do this. I want to learn about it. And, he was a little hesitant because he wanted me to kind of continue, but he's, go in, do whatever. So I did. I signed up at 30 days, and I've just never looked back. I didn't have all the answers. I didn't have like all these great trainings that we have now. My coach herself was pretty new. So I was like YouTubing and Googling anything and everything. If I wanted to know the answer, that's where I found it. I just went to Google, YouTube. Lindsay Matway was the #1 coach at the time. And so I was just watching her videos on the importance of things. So that's how I got started as a coach, and a little bit about me. Hopefully that wasn't too much. Okay. Let's jump into the call. Okay, 7 tips to escaping the prison, because it is, of limited and small thinking. And I really think it comes down to taking action. That's how you do it. That's where motivation is truly created. I don't think it's the other way around. I think you got to take action first when you don't feel like it, when you don't have the results, when you don't have the big business or the big paycheck or anything. You got to put one foot in front of the other. You got to take the action. So I'm just going to give you like kind of some practical tips. Okay. So first things first, you have to imagine the possibilities. I know that sounds crazy, but it comes down to believing. You have to imagine it. So you truly have to think about what could be. So for this call, I'm going to use the example of ending this year as a 5-star diamond elite coach. Some of you may have way bigger goals, and that's great. But I think I wanted to talk here because this is something that's absolutely possible for any single one of you on this call. Absolutely 100% possible. I fully believe that. So that's the example we're going to use. Visualizing becoming a 5-star diamond elite coach this year, because it is possible. So what if you could be intentional, because that's how you get there, about becoming 5-star. Then you deconstruct the process. Then this could increase the possibility. And I'll explain that a little bit more. This all begins first by imagining and then believing. And if you struggle in that area, you just got to do the work. You got to overcome. You got to know that you were made for more. God created you. I'm a believer, so I'm kind of just going to speak just to what I know. But it's the absolute truth. You're here right now on the call. So that means you want to grow, you want to know, and you are truly made for more. So believing that you're fully capable to make it happen. So starting this new year by thinking about the possibilities versus the old, tired, limiting beliefs. So like Becca said in the beginning, some of you are coming off of a hard year last year. I am too. It was tough. I mean, it started off with losing my mother-in-law on my husband's birthday, January 3rd last year. That was the beginning of the year last year, and it just cycled into many, many, many things. We had a virus rip through our house in the spring. My daughter was in the hospital with walking pneumonia. I'm telling you, I could probably name off, I can name off many, many, many more things. It was just a really tough year. And what I'll say to that is, life happens, life's hard. You have to use it as your platform, because you have to know you're not the only one. You're just not. So be brave and be the one to stand up and not pretend like it's all okay. I mean, who can do that anyway? That's so difficult. But just standing up and just saying, this is what's going on with me, and being that brave one that helps other people be able to stand up too and connect. Okay, so you and I have to allow ourselves to dream. Is everything okay, Becca? Keep dropping me down. I'm not doing anything right. Okay. So this is the year, guys. This is the year that we achieve that 5-star diamond elite, or 10 if that's your goal. We're going to talk about 5. So let's see. Did I put that really there? Yeah, I guess I did. Close your eyes and imagine. That's right. The best version of you possible. So close your eyes and imagine that, because that's who you already are. That's not who you're going to be when you lose the weight or build the business. It's who you are right now. And then you're going to continue on your health and fitness journey, and you're going to continue to build your business. But that's who you are. That best version is in there. It's you. Okay. So imagine the possibilities is number 1. Number 2, you got to take a pen to paper and write down your dream. I'm such a pen and paper kind of person. I've got notebooks everywhere. I'm just not that computer person that does the notes and the things and that's, everybody's so different. We have to do what works for us, but I am totally like, write it down. So this is how we give life, breathe life into this vision. So vision of becoming that 5-star Diamond Elite Coach. Next summit, you're going to be walking that stage with all of your teammates. So you guys are all going to be backstage, like, oh my gosh, celebrating, getting ready to walk across together. So when we write down, we begin to get clarity. We begin to like see it clearly. Clarity is the first prerequisite to achieving anything. So you've heard people say, if you're driving on the road without a map, you're really just cruising around. You don't know where you're going. So this is that first step. So let's get some clarity. So I put here because I really think it's important, and I'm sure you've already done it, but I want to encourage every single one of you to create a vision board. I totally meant to stick a little image of mine on here. I thought to do it 20 minutes ago, and it just slipped my mind. So, but I did it. I created one. I put things on there with dates, so it's not like silly, outrageous. They're pretty clear. Yes, set the bar high, and yes, dream, but don't say I'm going to make $1 million this year. I mean, I guess that could happen. I don't know, but set it high, above the norm of I want to make $5,000 this year. No, go big. I've been taking coach calls with my coaches for the last 2 weeks, and one of them, I don't even know if I should say this, but she was like, I want to be an emerald by December. I was like, no, what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? We got to like start this whole call over. Okay. So let's just set the bar high. Okay. So you can create a screensaver. Like I have some things on my phone so that I see them, a poster board. I know people love that. I don't love that, but do what works for you. You can have it like printed on a nice frame, sitting on your desk, your computer screen, but just don't be afraid to dream big and put it where you can see it every day. So seeing your goals written in ink on paper will have a powerful effect in your mind. Okay. Connect with what's at stake, which is pretty much your why. And I know we all know about this in this business. Your why has to be deep. It has to be real. It's going to change. I mean, mine has for sure. I didn't really know mine in the beginning. I'm a pearl personality. I really didn't want to help people. That's what I wanted to do. And I know we all say, yeah, I want to help people, but we want to build money. I really was focused on the helping people part, and I still am. It's what we do. But I've learned that the business side really is important, and I really know, the potential, the wealth we can all build here. So connecting with your why. This is what allows us to go through the ups and downs. And if you've been coaching any length of time, you'll know that there are some. It's life. It's the nature of anything you're going to go through. Nothing's perfect. Nothing ever. So there's ups and there's downs. So your why is going to help you get to the destination that you desire, which is going to be that 5-star Diamond Elite in December. So having that clear, solid why. You have to ask yourself, why is coaching important to you, to your family? What can it do for you, for your family? What's at stake if you on the left here, achieve 5-star diamond. So if you achieve it, you will help hundreds of people this year. To get to that goal, think of all the people that you and your organization will help. Hundreds, maybe thousands. You could get out of debt. That was one of the things that I did my very first year. We had $20,000 in debt. It was on my mind. Gone, Connor. That's awesome. So you could travel more if that's one of your dreams or goals. I personally didn't grow up traveling anywhere. We camped during the summer, and it was always the same. All the adults were drinking. It was just not like as you would imagine. So traveling is a dream of mine. I want to travel the world, and I want to take my children around the world. You could help people that you love in many ways, in their health and fitness. If you have people in your family that are on medications, you could help them. You can help them financially. You could buy a new car for your family. You can contribute to your personal family's monthly bills, or even pay all of them. I know when I started, I wanted to get my Shakeology paid for. I just said to my husband, I want to help somebody and people, and I want to get my Shakeology paid for, because we really didn't have it in the budget to do. So for me to continue on it, I think I just felt better knowing that I was making that money back. And then I did that. I did that in the first, couple weeks. I got my Shakeology paid for, and I just continued to step it up. And then I said to him, I want to pay the car payment. And then I wanted to pay for groceries, and it just continued. And now, I can pay all of our bills, which is such a huge blessing that from coaching, from helping people get healthy and fit. So these are things that if you decide to go for it. Now, B, if you decide to make excuses every day along the way, not do the 3 very vital behaviors or even decide to quit. So B, you could live with regret. You could live with the what if. You won't have the opportunity to help people. You may still need to work somewhere, but you'd have to be outside your home and away from your family. And you won't know your full potential. I mean, I truly love this business that it's part of our job description to grow ourselves. And oh my gosh, I'm not the same person I was 2.5 years ago. I'm completely different. I mean, before that challenge group, when I was so hesitant to join, I think about it now when I'm talking to people about joining my team and becoming a coach. If somebody would have invited me to be a coach, I would have been like, heck no, you're crazy. Like, I couldn't like speak to people. I'm an introvert. That is my nature. So I'm not that person in the crowd that's loud and out there. I'm just kind of quiet and shy. And so being a coach, I don't know, I probably would have just thought you had to be something that I'm not. So I just feel like the last 2.5 years, I've just grown so tremendously. And I know you guys probably have too. And we're just going to continue on this path. So on the bottom, this is something my hubby said. He's just like the master of quotes. He's like the personal development walker. He doesn't read it. It's just who he is. It's really interesting. So he says, staying connected to your why keeps you putting one foot in front of the other on the days we just don't feel like it. Because don't you have those days where, I don't know, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed or whatever it may be, or things are just going wrong, or the traffic, or I don't know, anything. We just have days where we kind of maybe just don't feel like it. But your why is going to be your reason that you are at least committing to a power hour. You are at least committing to, reaching out and putting the opportunity in front of at least 3 to 5 or whatever your connection number is each day. Okay. So outline what would have to be true in order to accomplish this vision that we're going after. So in other words, fast forward all the way to December 31st, 2016. It's going to be here before we know it. So at that moment, outline it out. That's what we're going to do. So pretty much, you've heard people say, write out your goals and break them down. So what would have to be true? So we're going to look back and think through what needs to be true and what you actually need to do, action to get there. Here's a few of the things that kind of came to my mind. You have to grow as a leader, right? In the beginning, we're kind of investing in ourselves and we're getting ourselves to diamond. But once you reach diamond, I really believe the whole thing changes. You now are wanting to help duplicate success and help other people succeed. So you've got to learn how to be the best leader that you can be. We're all different, so we're going to have different styles, but be the best leader that you can be. You need to be investing in your team, in their growth, and their success. You need to be achieving Success Club monthly, every month, always. That's leading from the front. You never want to ask your team to do it if you're not doing it. So if you have teams right now and they're not, maybe look to see if you are. It's really important that you're showing them the importance of it. What Success Club is we're helping people. So I don't even think of it as points. It's just you're helping at least 3 to 5 people each and every single month. This one is huge. This is like my focus this year for my team. It's simple, but it's everything. You need to be consistent and disciplined with the 3 vitals every single day. That's it. I mean, they're vital for a reason. And if you decide to take a few days and skip here and there, it just gets away from you. So if you're really just consistent every single day, it compounds at the end of the week and at the end of the month, and you really talk to so many people, and now you have so many to follow up with. So, and this works for your fitness, results too. When you're committed every single day to getting in that workout, even on the days you don't feel like, or even on the day it was a bad workout, you still got out there and got to sweat and got your heart going. So consistent and disciplined with the 3 vitals. You need to create work hours, be time management focused. I'm busy. We're all busy, right? I'm a homeschooling mom, so I'm home with them on Mondays and Wednesdays. So I'm with my kids. I get up early to work out, and I'll open up my groups, and I'll check in with my team, and I'll do a few things. But once we hit like 9 a.m., I, for the most part, try to keep my computer closed, and the phone, it's music or whatever. So Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm a homeschooling mom. Tuesday and Thursday and Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, they go from 9 to, I got to leave here at 2 to get them. And then Friday is like a short day. So My schedule is like blocks on different days, but I know when it's clear. Like I know when this is when I sit down to work. And my family knows too. So I put it at the bottom, and yes, to get where we're going to go, there is going to be some sacrifice involved. That's just part of life. So when you want to build something so incredibly amazing and wonderful, it's not just going to fall into your lap. You're going to have to cut out, some of your favorite TV shows, or I don't know, that you have to look through your time and see what you can cut, because I guarantee you, you have something. You have areas that you can find some time. So I think that's a hard one for some people sometimes, especially moms with kids. Like, I know our kids are only little once. Trust me, I know. I mean, my goal is to be a focused, present mom. That is my goal. That is what I do. At the same time, this is also what I do for me. So it's important that I'm doing this because this fills me up, this business. I love it. I love the community of coaches. I mean, just such an uplifting, empowering, inspiring community. I love the challengers. This is something for me, but also pleasing our family. It's afforded us trips and a new car and, wonderful things that come for our family. So yes, there will be some sacrifice involved. And so you have to just kind of search through your day and find that, and find your time, create your schedule, and stick to it. Okay, so at the bottom, if you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. And if you don't step forward, you're always going to be in the same place. And we're not. We're going to be ending the year as 5-star Diamond Elite coaches. All right, so you have to decide what you can do to affect the outcome. So to get to that goal, there are going to be things that you can't control. You just can't. You'll realize that. You have to, work with the willing and things like that. So you have to control the controllables and focus on what you can control. So things like what kind of leader you're going to be. What kind of culture do you want to cultivate in your team? What kind of community do you want? What do you want to be a part of? Create that. You have to work with the willing. So run with those who want it. There are going to be some that really, really do. And I let my team know right from the get-go, you want to run, I want to run. If you want to walk, we'll walk. That's fine. We all have different goals and things like that. So you can control your attitude, mindset, and your energy, right? We do have control of that. Sometimes it might not feel like it with that time of the month or whatever, but the truth is you absolutely have control over it. You get to choose if you're going to have a bad day or turn that bad day around and have it be one of the most amazing days. You get that choice. Integrity and character, these are things just that go without saying, honestly. Always just doing the right thing, leading the right way, treating people how you want to be treated, right? You can, the 3 vital behaviors. Again, this is something you can control. I'll say this, when I've been doing this 2.5 years, I've had moments where I got off my workout routine. It kind of affected everything else. It just, you don't feel like you're not feeling inspired yourself, so you have a hard time inspiring others. So this is so important that you stay on that. No, not going for 6-pack abs or anything like that. I mean, that's your goal. That's great. Just that health and taking care of yourself. Goodness, it's so important. Leading from the front, you can control that. So again, asking your team to do certain things like Achieve Success Club, or just show up, like you guys are right now. Show up and show them how to do it. Don't get caught in comparison. If you've been around more than a month, you know that that's possible. Oh my gosh. I don't know. It's just a little bit of part of it. And it's difficult. I mean, no one's going to say it's not. It's just difficult. But you have to know who you are. You have to know what your goals are. Nobody else's. And right now, for example, and this actually probably is some of your goal this year, you're going to have those blinders on and you're going to be a 5-star Diamond Elite coach. So you can't get caught in looking at Susie Q and whatever and wondering, well, what are they doing? Or they are going faster than me, or she signed up after me. You just can't. You got to run your race, your journey, because we all come in at different places and we're going to get there. I fully believe if you're consistent and disciplined and growing every day, you're going to reach all your goals. So don't you want to reach it and enjoy the journey versus reach it and just have been like, that was a nightmare, and I don't even enjoy it because it was just, I take it all for granted. So you want to enjoy the journey and be on your own, just organic journey, right? Okay. And the last one is take action. This is, I think, a huge one for many people that I've talked to, is you can just get paralyzed by analyzing everything. The amazing thing about the business is that we have information coming at us all the time. I mean, there's not a shortage with the weekly calls, the National Wake Up and trainings and YouTube. There's just not a shortage of amazing information. So don't get caught, don't get paralyzed. Don't get, worried and worked up about knowing everything. Just dive in and go after just being on your journey, and help 3 to 5, 10 people a month, whatever your goals are. And just know that by helping those people, you're going to reach all the other goals. So don't think about what can happen in a year. Don't think about what can happen in a month. Just focus on the 24 hours in front of you and do what you can to get closer to where you want to be. That is truly that's my focus this year. I came into this year with some really just good clarity, and that's kind of my focus. Okay. You have to determine that this will happen. So without setting a date, it's just an aspiration, a someday, maybe I'm going to hit 5-star elite at some point. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. That's just not how it's going to happen. So you have to know, December 31st, 2016, I'm going to be a 5-star dyno coach. No, not just saying it's going to make it happen, but all these other things that I'm telling you is what's going to make it happen. So when you put a date on a goal, work backwards on it, decide what would have to be true, like we talked about, what you can and will do, like we talked about. Then you trust that if you set your intention loose, just set it out there and be serious, dead serious about it, you'll figure everything else out along the way. It's going to happen. Pretty much jump and find your wings on the way down. I love that because that's how I got started in the business. I didn't know. I mean, I've never missed Success Club and things like that. I just was helping people and figured it out. A dream written down with, a dream written down with a date becomes a goal broken down into steps becomes a plan, and a plan backed by action makes your dreams come true. So review your goals every single day as part of your daily routine. So these are some of mine: praying, getting your workout in, reading or listening to your personal development. And I'll speak about that for a second. I'm hunkered down double time on that one this year. Anytime I get in the car, and even with my kids, my son loves it. He's put on that lady that talks about extroverts and stuff, like Shalene Johnson something. So he's learning, and I love that. And he's learning at 12, this awesome stuff that we are learning. So personal development, drink your shake, and review your goals. Review them daily. You want them to be in the front of your mind, so you're constantly asking yourself, what can I do today, this day, to move the needle towards becoming that goal? So what this day right here in front of me? So where attention goes, energy flows. So this is your year, friends. It's time to kick the limiting beliefs and honestly be who you're called to be, right? So that's it. That's my call. I'd be happy to fill in anything else or ask any questions. I hope I didn't go too fast for you.
No, that was perfect. So normally what we do after calls, if you're okay hanging out for a few minutes, Jen, to see if anybody has any questions they'd like to ask you.
Yeah, I'd be happy.
Can you go back to the collage view?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can do that. Give me a second. What do I do with that? Did it.
All right. I'm going to stop the recording too.